We've just mapped how configuration layers stack enterprise defaults, user overrides, and project settings so your team shares a reliable baseline. Now we shift from static configuration to active automation. This module introduces / commands you can reuse, skills that trigger on descriptions, and subagents that handle work in parallel. Because once your configuration is predictable, the next step is teaching Claude Code to act on it. By the end of this module, you can build a reusable / command, author a skill with a triggering description, and delegate work to a Claude Code subagent. Here is how this module builds up. A / command is a reusable prompt you invoke by name. It is a markdown file in .claude/commands/, and Claude Code registers it at startup. The distinction people get wrong is confusing it with a skill. A skill is auto-discovered and can be triggered by context. A command is something you decide to run. If you need a workflow that starts only when you say so, you want a command, not a skill. Without / commands, teams suffer from prompt drift. One developer pastes a long prompt from a Notion page, another types a slightly different version from memory. The results are inconsistent, and debugging takes hours. A / command locks the instructions in version control. It also prevents context bloat because a well-written command can spin up a subagent for heavy lifting, so your main conversation does not balloon with repository scans or test runs. That keeps Claude fast and focused, which matters when you are paying for tokens and time. Let's work through the worksheets case. You create a file called review.md inside .claude/commands/. The body of the file is the prompt you want Claude to follow, maybe review this pull request for security issues in code style. You can add YAML frontmatter at the top with a description field, like Code Review Assistant. That description is not just documentation, Claude Code uses it to auto-invoke the command when a task matches. The alternative would be to put those instructions in a subagent, but a subagent runs in an isolated context and is meant for delegated work, not for a manual trigger. Here, you want to type /review yourself, so a command is the right fit. The worksheet lists other cases, like building a deployment checklist or a test generator. The pattern is the same. You create the file, you invoke it, and you compare the output against the expected shape to see if your command made the right decisions. The durable rule is this: a / command is the right choice when a human must decide when to run the workflow. If the workflow should run automatically based on context, that is a skill. If it should run in the background without your intervention, that is a subagent. Rejecting a subagent here is not about isolation, it is about control. You reject a subagent because it bypasses the manual trigger you need to stay in the loop. Version your commands in the repository so every team member gets the same behavior, and you have a record of how the workflow evolved. On the exam, this appears as a scenario question. You will read a situation, maybe a team wants to standardize their code review process, and you must choose between a command, a skill, and a subagent. The distractor that catches people is the subagent, because it sounds more sophisticated and isolated. But the scenario will include a detail like developers want to trigger it manually, and that is the clue. A subagent is for delegated work, not for manual invocation. Remember the trade-off: a command runs in your main context, so it sees everything. That is a feature, not a bug, when the workflow needs full conversation history. A skill is a reusable set of instructions you author once and make available to Claude. The description field is what Claude reads to decide if the skill is relevant to the current task. This is not a command you have to remember to type. The distinction people get wrong is thinking skills are just renamed commands. They are not. Skills add auto-invocation, forking into subagents, and supporting files. Commands still work, but skills give you more control. Without skills, you end up pasting the same long prompt into every conversation. That is error-prone and inconsistent. Over time, your instructions drift, and Claude applies different judgment to the same task. In production, this means architecture diagrams that follow different conventions, code reviews that miss the same class of bug, or deployment checklists that skip steps. The cost is rework and lost trust. Skills prevent that by making the instructions durable and automatically applied. Let us work through the case from the document, authoring a skill for generating architecture diagrams. You create the file at .claude/skills/architecture diagrams/skill.md. The description might be generate architecture diagrams using the C4 model. Use when the user asks for a system design or architecture overview. That is specific enough that Claude will not trigger it for a class diagram or a flowchart. The alternative is to put the instructions in a command file. That would work, but you would have to remember to type /architecture diagrams every time. The skill approach wins because it fires automatically when the context matches. The rest of the cases in the document follow the same pattern. The description is the decision point. The durable rule is, write the description as if you are telling a colleague exactly when to step in. If you would not say handle this to a human without more context, do not expect Claude to get it right. Rejecting a command is not about the file format, it is about rejecting manual invocation. You are paying for Claude's language understanding. A skill leverages that to decide when to apply your instructions. A command bypasses that and puts the burden on you to remember. On the exam, this appears as a scenario question. You will see a situation where someone needs consistent behavior across conversations. The distractor is choosing a command because it is familiar. The correct answer is a skill, and you must explain why the auto invocation matters. This is testcraft. The exam is not checking if you memorized the file path. It is checking if you understand the trade-off between manual and automatic triggering. A subagent is a specialist you delegate work to from inside a Claude Code session. It gets its own context window, so the main thread stays clean. This is not the same as a skill, which loads instructions into the current context, or a /command, which you invoke manually. And it is different from running a parallel session, which is a fully independent conversation for an unrelated work stream. The distinction people get wrong is thinking any isolated task needs a subagent. If the task requires frequent back and forth with the main thread, keep it in the main conversation. Without subagents, every research step, every file scan, every review piles into the main context. Eventually Claude slows down, misses details, or starts hallucinating because the context is too large. In production, this means a code review that should take seconds drags on for minutes, or a plan mode session loses the plot halfway through. Subagents prevent this by offloading work to isolated workers. The main thread stays lean and fast, and you can even run several subagents in parallel, getting results back without ever polluting your primary conversation. Let's work through the most instructive case, delegating a repository exploration. You define a subagent with a name like Explore and a description that tells the main agent when to use it. Say, use this agent when you need to scan a codebase for patterns or dependencies. You restrict its tools to read-only file access and search, deny write permissions, and set a low-effort model to save cost. When the main thread needs a repo map, it hands off to the Explore subagent. The alternative is loading the entire repo into the main context, which would balloon the conversation and slow everything down. That alternative loses because it sacrifices the speed and focus you are paying for. The other cases review, research, parallel test runs follow the same pattern and are on the page. The durable rule is, delegate to a subagent when the work is tightly scoped and you only care about the result, not the process. If you need to discuss the work as it happens, keep it in the main thread. Reject a skill for this not because skills are bad, but because they load into your context and defeat the purpose of isolation. And if the work streams are truly unrelated, different projects, different goals, spin up a parallel session instead. This rule holds whether you are building next year or the year after, because it is about matching the tool to the communication pattern, not about a specific product version. On the exam, you will see a scenario and be asked which approach fits. The distractor that catches people is assuming subagents are always the right answer. They are not. If the task requires shared context or frequent interaction, keeping work in the main thread is correct. The exam is testing whether you can state why one approach beats the alternatives, not whether you remember a definition. This is testcraft. Read the scenario for the communication pattern, not for the keyword delegate. Let's lock in what we just built. First, /commands are explicit, you type them, they run. Skills, on the other hand, trigger automatically when their description matches your intent. Subagents do the heavy lifting in isolation and hand back results, but they don't see your chat history. And remember, every skill file needs that YAML frontmatter with a clear description to work. These patterns will save you hours.